Hello, I'm Anushka Sengupta from Impact Magazine, and we have with us today Prasad Shejale, who's the founder and CEO of LS Digital, and Venugopal Ganganna, who's the CIO and co-founder of LS Digital. Happy to have you guys here. If you can tell us more about the AI marketing stack, what unique features you're offering through it, and how do you position it in the market?
So, good to be here with you. The AI marketing stack, we have designed it in a way that can help the marketing community. That's step number one. And it has got multiple products, services, frameworks, and processes under it. It's just not a platform that it's a plug and play platform. It's a bunch of best practices, tools, services, processes built in to solve for three big clear use cases for marketeers. How can the stack help marketeers do better research, faster research, efficient research, and effective research around consumers, category, competition, and my brand? And then from there, it goes into the second largest space called generating. When I know all these truths about my category, consumer, and competition, how can I use that to generate, create concepts, advertising, creative, copy, social, video, all of that aspects. Now, from there, once I'm launching all of it, how can I go into the predictive space that can help the marketers to predict whether what's going to happen, what's going to work, how can I build different models to create impact on my business bottom line, right? So these are the three specific use cases that we have addressed within this stack with multiple use cases that can address each and every unique problem the marketers will face.
Yeah, Anushka, just a top up. Thank you very much. Just a top up is that for last almost 3 years, and both of us have a lot of background of technology, right? We started our career in IT software, right? So when AI was being talked about, we started experimenting with it a lot, right? And the speed at which the AI technology is sort of evolving, okay, so fast at the same time, probably with so much of clutter and so much of uncertainties, we thought that there has to be we have to handhold with with marketeers to start walking along with them, right? So because we strongly believe using AI is no longer a choice; it has to be a default. Okay. Then we started looking, as Venu was saying, we started looking at what we could do. How do I handhold with him and take him from the first step to the next one. So to just repeat, research, generative, predictive. Put everything as systems, processes, partners, tools, data, everything together and just help. Every industry will and every company will have their own needs. How to handle with them and take it to the next level is something that we are trying to solve.
That's great. Also, if you can tell us on the revenue model of the AI marketing stack and how do you measure the ROI for your clients?
Let me first talk about the ROI because that's the first question marketers ask, right? Why AI? And which is answered now. Now, what will AI do for me? In three folds, right? So it's obviously helping across now proven beyond any doubt about how it can save cost, almost 15 to 20% of my cost of running things. How is it increasing my productivity, right? And where is it saving my time, right? Three key important things eventually leads into bottom line hit, right? So that's from an ROI perspective. And over 60, 70 case studies implementation, we have realized on average, probably 15 to 30% efficiency improvement, cost saving, and efforts reduction is what marketers can say, right? The biggest barriers, as Prasad was saying, was to all the marketers over the last 18 months who we are talking to, they want to adapt it, they want to embrace it, but they don't know where to start. Hence, we're saying, let me come here with all the investments I have made. Let me open up the first ground zero problems for you to adopt very easily. That means I'm going to give you research, exclusive access, which you can use without the tension of trying to understand whether this will work, what money will I make, what impact I will make. So let you come in, adopt, for a few months you see the value, then get into identifying the right use cases on which you need to invest. There comes the revenue and the commercial model of it, right? That is dependent on how deep a CMO wants to go. Depending on the use cases you want to go, it can get into a retainer model, it can get into a project model, it can get into a specific business use case model, right? But what we are saying is the first entry into it is all seamless, it's all exclusive for a few months, it's free to get you,
To our clients.
and that's what we have designed it for.
Okay. Also, particularly in light of the evolving regulations, how do LS Digital ensure data privacy and security for clients using this
Oh,
marketing
that's
stack?
such an awesome. Thank you very much, Anushka, for asking that question. Because before any one of us are marketeers or business leaders, we are consumers. Okay, and I understand the importance of having the data of mine in the hands of the brands as safe as possible. Okay, so I strongly believe, a rule or no law. Okay, it's a fundamental responsibility of a marketeer to respect and manage the privacy. Okay, to answer your question, okay, what we have done, okay, there are two parts to it, right? One is we are using multiple different technologies which are privacy compliant, right? Has to be, okay. Some of the big tech companies, right? Okay, a on top of it, what also we realize, especially in the predictive AI perspective, the data of there are multiple data points, because we also have a thought process in terms of collect and activate, right? So once you get the data activated of the first party data, and if there is a possibility that there is an integration required with a second party or third party also. So we have tied up with some of the not some of the only one big player which enables the privacy safe data sharing using um, distributed ledger technology, basically blockchain technology, right? So we have experimented with especially the data federation. Okay, so anything which is a third party data, okay, which is being protected by the big tech companies, and anything which is related to their own data, depending on the use case, we can put together the data federation layer in between and then make sure that it is a data protected. So we completely comply, okay, with the regulations, and more than that, probably our ethical needs of protecting the data of the consumer, right? So technology as well as partners, put that together with the specific use cases, I think we should be compliant. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Also, how do you see the AI marketing stack impacting the role of a CMO today?
uh, I don't know how to answer, okay, but you know what, every industry, every job profile, everything, okay, and including, forget about from the corporate side, it's going to touch every human on the planet earth, right? Okay. So around 20-25 years back, when I was at IIT, we talked about neural networks and implications of that, and then a lot of years have passed by, and probably somewhere in 2007 2008, the whole focus on the way AI built, and last probably a year, and everyone started talking about it, or 2 years, when 2.5 years, when
2.5 years.
OpenAI
Yeah.
ChatGPT happened, right? So impact is going to impact, right, in terms of how marketeers will understand their consumers, which are continuously changing, because consumer adopts technology much faster than the corporates, right? So the pace at which consumer changes, okay, you need to have a similar ways of understanding the consumer. No other, for example, Venu, I think you should talk about billions of touch points, okay, 20 different systems, getting that data together, okay, removing all the noise is humanly not possible, right? So research, understanding, consumer, competition, and category at real time, okay, is going to be very critical tool, which is
Yeah.
what Venu was talking about. We are, for a limited time, we are giving it free with whatever technologies that we have sort of tied up with. On top of it, I would say what took a lot of time, okay, for a marketeer to understand the dashboarding, okay, consolidating and putting a layer of understanding is something fundamentally changed. What he has to wait for a month, okay, he will have a real time. Second important one, because insights is a bedrock of taking right decision, and right decision taken much quicker, okay, is a fundamental competitive advantage, right? Okay, so that's the second third, and the third one is the predictive one, right? Okay, which is, how do I understand who is that customer who has a high propensity, okay, to spend more, high propensity to leave faster, you know churn rate, okay. So those are the things, are very pinpointed things to understand. And of course, we also talk about generative, the time from idea to content has to shrink. So if you want to be smarter, faster, and better, it's AI. So it's default, not choice. Yeah.
Just one thing I want to add. From a marketer perspective, I think a lot of marketers have jumped into the sweet spot of generative.
Yeah.
We urge them to take a step back and see the power of it. Once you see the power of research, once you see the power of creative, once you see the power of predictive, CMO's impact is very simple. Can I make the best informed decision in real time every day so I can be hired? I can make sure my consumers are and their needs and their barriers are addressed in real
Right.
time. I'm building products for the future. I am best in my competitive landscape. That's how CMOs can use it, but they need to come out of the generative piece of it
Yeah.
and go to the widespread
Yeah.
of research generative and predictive piece
Predictive.
of it.
Yeah.
Also, it's slightly divert from the stack. You've also partnered with Point Fearless
Yeah.
to launch a joint venture to tap the
Yes.
US market. So, what has the key focus areas of that particular joint venture been?
So with Fearless, we started calling Fearless.
Yeah.
The good part of it is very seasoned professionals, right? With a humongous amount of industry understanding, and they are established well in that territory. Okay, so they get to the table, their connects and their experience, and their of course understanding of marketing as a domain very well, right? Along with our understanding of with 1,200 people, four companies as a part of the group, our understanding and the whole concept of challenge the now and how do I get something better and better every time across media, UI, UX, CX, tech innovations, and UX and creative. Okay, something that we have built. Okay, so our ability, and India is a market with what 150 crore people and so much of very different industries. Our ability to solve difficult problems and experiment with it has really good. So how about picking those up, adding the layer of what US North America wants, and creating those solutions for the North American market is something really helpful. So we are using them to enhance our understanding of that market, as well as putting a layer of their understanding on top of our services and going into the US market. It's been a 8 to 9 months now,
Yeah.
right? Okay, we have some awesome discussions there with
Okay.
some of the really big brands, and also that also gives us understanding both ways. Okay, what we are learning from there, okay, getting here to India, and what we are learning from here, we are taking it to
Yeah.
US market. Of course, US, UK, Middle East, and Australia is our focus. We want to be really truly a global company helping brands, okay, to actually how to understand the consumer and build that solid growth in the new age, right? So it's a very symbiotic relationship across all those entities with services and understanding of the consumer. And of course, Venu is putting humongous amount of efforts, energy to understand what's new in AI and how quickly,
That's
for a
it.
want of any other word, democratize for our prospects and customers.
Yeah. I think it gives us a good vantage point of developed and developing markets from a learning perspective, right? So, US works differently, UK works differently, Australia works differently, GCC Dubai works differently. Since we have invested in all of those four areas, there is ups and downs in different aspects. So, for example, in AI, we will move into a world of agentic AI
Yes.
in US, but that may be 12 months away from what we can adapt in India. So, learning from it through this partnership,
Yes.
implementing that in 3 or 4 large industries, focus industries, from gaming to health and wellness slash pharma and to commerce. Those are the three large categories in which we are investing in vehicles. From there, bring the solutions back into India and vice versa.
Okay. One last question. Do you see AI just as a tool to enhance businesses, or do you see it something to survive in the long run?
I don't know how to answer. You only answered, when you were not sure, Anushka, when you were asking that question. AI is not just a tool. It's a way of operating, right?
Yeah.
People have to start the way they said, right? Something back. They used to say, right? The traditional big companies always said that, why this new age tech companies do better, okay? And they used to say they have a digital DNA, okay? You must have heard, right? Okay, they have a digital DNA. They have a digital DNA. How to get that, right? Similarly, few months down the line, people is saying that these companies have AI DNA.
Yeah.
It's so powerful, and fortunate and unfortunate, it took 8 9 7 8 9, at least 5 to more than 5 years for digital DNA companies to grow and compete and become sometimes bigger. In case of this AI DNA people, it's knowledge on steroid.
Yeah.
Okay.
People don't have time. I don't know whether where this video is going, but whoever is listening to it, there's no choice. I come from a lot of technology background. Before I joined this industry, um, there are very few times. Okay, 1997, 98, when I first searched on Google, I said, "Wow." Okay, search. When I'm working on AI, I'm saying, "Wow."
Yeah.
It took 30 years maybe from first search to now. In 10 years, world will be a very different place.
Morning, I saw a quote saying like, I think 30 years back, company put computer in every person's hand. 10, 15 years back, Apple put phone in every person's hand. The biggest revolution is now to put AI agents in every person's hand, irrespective of whether you're a consumer brand. So it has got nothing to do with business anymore. It is about the way of life, right? Uh, I think it's cautiously everybody is treading the path, but this is gonna blow up. This is the thing, right? I think how marketeers can really help adopt it is where we come in.
See, no one should wait for what's perfect. They should
Yeah.
jump into it. The way probably some of us missed the bus of crypto 10 years back, right? Okay. So similarly, they should experiment with now, right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
is what we feel. And that's exactly was Venu and our team has worked on to it. How do I make your life easier to take that first step?
Correct. Then you will believe it,
Then you
right? So now you don't have any barriers to adopt. So we urge the marketeers to really take the step forward and use this to your advantage.
Congratulations to you both on the launch and great knowing. Thank you.
very much, Anushka.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.